is Dr. Jyotsna Joshi. I'm practicing dermatologist and cosmetologist at Aditya Birla Memorial Hospital, Columbia Asia Hospital, EMF Clinic and Unity Hospital. I'm practicing since the last 25 years. Now 25th June is considered as World Vitiligo Day, and on this occasion Glenmark Pharmaceutical Limited has brought about this great initiative of awareness regarding vitiligo. Now what exactly is this vitiligo? Now we will talk about vitiligo and we'll also talk about certain myths and facts about this disease. Now vitiligo is an autoimmune disorder in which antibodies are produced against melanocytes. Means what? Melanocytes are cells in the skin and hair which are producing melanin. Melanin is a pigment which gives color to your skin and hair. So antibodies are produced considering these melanocytes, our own melanocytes, as foreign bodies, and antibodies are produced against these melanocytes and melanocytes are destroyed. Hence melanin in some parts of the skin is lost. So we see patchy loss of pigment in certain areas of skin and hair. Vitiligo is also called as leukodoma or code, or in some layman's language just they say at white patches. Now how exactly is this vitiligo developed? No exact cause is known, but a study has shown that there is some inheritance pattern. That means a person of vitiligo, there are some chances, like 20 to 30% chances that someone in the near relative has vitiligo. The other thing is, like after an infection, say after herpes simplex infection, that is ZER that we call, there is post-inflammatory, there is white vitiligo patch in that area. It is also seen in certain people who work in chemical industries where they are coming in contact with chemicals, so they develop vitiligo. It is also seen that stress increases the number of vitiligo patches, so stress is also a component. Now exactly what happens is, like vitiligo, people get scared of vitiligo. People do not tell or they hide that they have vitiligo, and once it becomes too much, then only they approach a dermatologist. But please don't do that. Vitiligo is manageable and it can be treated in 70 to 80% of the people. Now once a person accepts the truth that is having vitiligo and comes to us dermatologists, so what do we do first of all? Like first of all, we see whether these white patches are vitiligo or they are something else. Mind you, every white patch is not vitiligo, it can be something else also. So after that fact is being known, then we see what is the distribution, like whether it is segmental, whether it is involving a certain area. So if it is involving a certain area only, it becomes more easy to treat and the prognosis is quite good. If it is involving a larger area, the treatment modality differs. The other thing that we see is whether it is associated with something else also, because we know it is being an autoimmune disorder. Usually vitiligo is associated with something to do with thyroid disorder, or there is something to do with alopecia areata. That means there are bald patches on the scalp. We do certain investigations in these people that we have to do certain for, like what treatment we are giving. Depending on that treatment, we have to do certain investigations for the treatment. Then in the treatment, what is the first thing we do is we have to stop the progress of this disease. We have to stop these antibody production or the spreading of this disease. So what happens is, like we have to give something like steroids which is in the pulse form, or we give certain immunomodulatory medicines such as methotrexate or cyclosporin. Then we have to stop the immune cells working at that site. So for that we give something like tacrolimus or pacrolimus or steroid for a shorter duration. Now steroid, mind you, it has to be taken under the supervision of a dermatologist only, and it has to be taken for applied for a short time, as it has its own side effects. Then after this is done, we have to stimulate the melanin synthesis. Now this is done by phototherapy. So what do we do is, there's something called as Sorolin. Sorolin is available in lotions, creams or even tablets. So the person has to they have to take it or they have to apply it, and followed by photo exposure or sun exposure. This stimulates melanin synthesis. This also has to be done under the supervision of a dermatologist. Now sometimes what happens is the patches are many, they are in the private parts also. So for them there is something called as light chamber. The narrow band UVB light chambers are created in hospitals or in certain consultation rooms. So in this the patient can go inside these chambers and then expose themselves to these rays, hence triggering melanin synthesis. Sometimes if the vitiligo is stable, not progressing, we can go for certain surgical modalities such as skin grafting or melanocyte transplant or gene therapy. Now what happens is sometimes if the person is still undergoing treatment and there is vitiligo patches on the exposed part, patient is socially embarrassed, we do something like camouflage. We give certain cosmetics which camouflage these patches, so making them less obvious. Some people, once if the vitiligo is stable and not progressing, some people opt for tattooing also, permanent tattooing also in these patches. Now this whole thing takes time. Like what happens is, like once the melanin is being triggered, the melanin synthesis is being triggered, there are brown patches which are seen, the brown dots are seen on these white patches, and then these dots, they increase in size, then they cover up the entire white patch, bringing about the color, the proper skin color to the entire white patch. This takes a long time. So this treatment takes a long time. Please do not get disheartened. Please do visit your dermatologist consistently. And there's also some psychological support which is required, as stress is known to be one of the factors causing the spread of these vitiligo patches. The other thing is, like, some people also do require sunscreens also, because these psoralen or these tablets can make a person more photosensitive. So even sunscreens are also given along with this. Now there are certain myths associated with this vitiligo. First of all, remember, a person of vitiligo can get married and can live a socially normal life. It is not contagious. It does not spread by touching or coming in contact with a person. It is not necessary that all your offsprings get vitiligo. There is a very rare 20 to 30% chance only of that your offspring can get vitiligo. The second thing is, there is no such scientific background that is associated with taking in of citrus fruits or some fish and milk and all. There is no such scientific study for it. It is not a curse. It is not a life-threatening illness. It is an illness which is a disease which is limited only to your skin. Hence, vitiligo, remember, it is treatable in the early stages. It becomes a little difficult when it spreads at a larger area. So do visit your dermatologist at the earliest. And remember, you have to embrace yourself. You have to accept the truth that you are having vitiligo. Then you must have the courage to go to your nearest dermatologist and get the treatment. The dermatologist will make you aware and transform you to the best version of yourself. So again, I take this opportunity to thank Glenmark to bring about this awareness program, and I very much stand in the fight to remove the stigma associated with vitiligo. Thank you very much.